Well, hello and welcome to this week's broadcast. I am Anne LaFollette, a surface pattern designer, online educator, and creative entrepreneur. And over the course of the summer, I am going to be sharing this summer spotlight series on some of the students from my Pattern Design Academy program. And you are in for a real treat. I wanted to let you know that sometimes these videos will be broken up into two parts so that they're not too long and you have an opportunity to see as much as possible of these students' stories and the work that they're now producing as surface pattern designers. Each of their stories is truly unique and I can't wait to jump right in. So let's get started. So I am going to share my screen and we're going to go to your website, quiltlife.com. Let me just make sure that it's coming up. It has a beautiful quilt on the cover. And I love the fact that as soon as you land on the website, it says the first stitch begins a quilt. Let's get started. And your mission is to grow and support the quilting and art community. Just beautiful. It's a wonderful mission statement. And so I'm going to scroll down. You can see it on screen, right?
Yes.
So first of all, this is awesome. You're seeing lessons, your storefront, and then this beautiful picture of that's a long arm.
That's my long arm.
That's your long arm. So that's awesome. So you have a very special announcement to share with everybody.
Well, I kind of posted it earlier on Facebook, but yeah, I was able to take my prints and a beautiful Montreal store took my prints and put it on their clothes. So I have a storefront now through their print on demand site, and Anne's French will tell you what the name of the company is.
Yeah, so first of all, congratulations. This is just amazing. Everybody, this is so fantastic. So because of the power of the internet and being able to really put your work out there and be found by anyone, anywhere, Susan's work was found by this beautiful company called Le Galeriste in Montreal. And so tell us how they found you online, right?
Well, yeah, Facebook, they posted, I think, just like Anne's Doodles to Dollars, and I went to their website and saw their amazing website, and they asked for 3 different prints or 3 different designs, and so I sent 3 different ones, and about a week later, they sent me back an email, said, thank you, we love your stuff, here's how if you want to contract with us, just check this box. And they posted these beautiful pictures of their clothes with my designs on them, which are amazing.
It is so gorgeous. So gorgeous. So this is the beautiful hero print, right? Your beautiful rose print that is both in color, right? And then it's also in black and white.
Yeah.
And these lend themselves to these dresses and also this really beautiful kimono, just beautifully, right? And the tunic, I love this collar on the tunic. It's amazing. And then this really, really this chic dress. It's amazing, right? It's absolutely amazing. And so you guys can come to this website. You want to go first to quiltlife.com, and then you want to scroll down just like I did and click on the shop button, and then you can come here and look at this assortment. It's beautiful. And one of the things I wanted to also mention is technology continues to change so rapidly and makes things so much easier than we might think to get started selling our beautiful artwork on clothing, for example. And this website in particular has a toggle switch. So if you're in Montreal and speak French, do you see where my cursor is here up in the right-hand corner? This will allow me to switch it's currently, it says products, art, about us, and create, which is obviously in English, but I'm going to click this little button and it's going to change into French. Just so cool. It's just so cool. So instantaneously it now says produit, art, à propos, créer, and connection. And créer is making. So I can click back on this to go back to the English version, but it's totally amazing. Of course, I just totally gravitated to that because I'm always looking for when can I offer my academy program in French without having to translate it all myself. And so this is brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant. Everyone is saying gorgeous. And then Gabriella is saying that she is from Montreal. And people are loving your rose print.
Yay.
And it's just absolutely fantastic. And so let me come back on screen for a second. And Marianne asked the question, how did it happen? So talk a little bit more about how it happened.
How did it happen? Well, I was just scrolling through my feed on Facebook one day and saw their request, I guess, for art, and I clicked on the link and it brought me to their website and a lot of information on how to download your designs and your surface designs, and that, if they were approved, I would get information back in a few days. And they were, they said 3 days, and I think it took a week, but that's still darn fast.
That's very fast. That's very fast. So tell us a little bit about how you use Instagram while I pop over to your Instagram account.
Well, it was from you and Juliet Meeks that told me that I need to get on Instagram and start posting my art. I'm sure that a lot of you have heard about the 100-day challenge of making art to help you find your signature style. And so I have decided to take that on. And so I'm trying to post every day something I've designed, but then I also pop in some quilts that I've quilted or made.
It's just beautiful. And so this is such a great example, everybody. So you guys know I love to say this. If you're multitasking, come back to us. This is such a great example of how Susan is utilizing her Instagram account to talk about what it is that she's doing and post her work, right? So there are 3 themes that immediately emerged for me here that I want to point out just from popping on to your beautiful feed. The first thing is that there's some diversity here, right? There's some diversity of you doing close-ups, right? This is gorgeous, of this bee. This is actually an IGTV, right? You did a video.
Yeah.
You then have like a hero. This is like a beautiful hero illustration.
Right. That's the Argyle quilt that I made from the Disappearing 9 patch. That's my first one.
So isn't that amazing? I mean, when it looked on your wall, it looked like it was going to be quite simple, and yet it can be so complex because of the way you can reorient all the each square.
Exactly.
Right? It's amazing. Oh, it's incredible. Then you are posting some of your the mock-ups of your dresses, so people can go from, oh, this is really pretty, but what would I do with that, to this is what you do with it. You put it on a beautiful dress or a tunic. Or a robe. Just fantastic. Yep. And then I wanted to scroll down a little bit further because I love this too. I love that you are also sharing your process.
Right. I'm drawing because that's what Anne teaches to do. So that's my drawing. And then I usually what I'll do is take that picture and actually put it in Procreate and do some coloring there. Then take it over to Art Illustrator. And then if the color's not quite right from Procreate, I then can change the colors in Art Illustrator a whole lot easier after I've colored it in Procreate.
And then this beautiful rose print, is it from a photograph?
Nope. Those are the same roses, just I added some stems and then I added design. If you scroll down, you'll see the lattice work by itself somewhere.
The lattice work is gorgeous. I remember when you first posted this, I thought it was phenomenal that you put the two of them on top of each other.
Yeah. Yeah. So that I I designed that, drew that out, and I wanted to, to make it look like shadows. So I made sure that the colors made it look like a shadow, like a real lattice.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. Talk to us about sketch to pattern, what your flow looks like.
All right. So yeah, I have my little sketchbook here, the one that Anne recommended. It's wonderful. I'll just sketch probably in front of the TV at night with my husband. And then the next morning I'll take a picture and bring it into Procreate, trace it out, and color it in. And then I make it a PNG and I bring it over to my Adobe Illustrator and start making the pattern.
And so when you bring it in from Procreate as a PNG file, do you then pull the colors out of it and save those as a swatch in Illustrator? And that is, you mentioned some color adjustments. So talk a little bit more about that.
You can get more colors in Art Illustrator.
You can get more sophisticated, right? You can, I mean, obviously you can do any color under the sun. Right. You have the whole color wheel options.
Exactly. And then you can also bring in your own pictures, and like you show in Doodles to Dollars, bring in the amazing, colors that you don't even think of except from a photograph. So
so I'm going to go back to the trellis and the roses, because I'd love for you to talk a little bit about the color scheme and how you actually, what were some of the things that you used to create that beautiful color scheme, and a little bit just sort of so fun to understand behind the scenes.
Well, being a photographer and having a phone with you all the time, I'm always taking pictures of pretty flowers when I'm out and about. There was one particular rose that had that color in it, the yellow and peach. And so I took that and I took the colors out of that rose. I colored it in Procreate, trying to match the colors as closely as possible. Each one of these roses is like a different color. There's a purple rose and red rose, but I wanted them all to go together. So I just played with the shading in Procreate and got them all to look like they came from the same bush.
Because this is amazing. I mean, I can't zoom in anymore, but the rose buds, more so than the totally open roses, have that gorgeous, very light yellow on them that you're just describing.
Scroll down, there's larger pictures of each one of them. So if you scroll down, you can see them a close-up picture.
All right, let me keep going. I just love these. And so you're very inspired by the walks that you take. And here, I'm going to scroll down some more. You can tell me when I'm in there. I love this one too that you did. This is so beautiful with the honey inside the honeycomb.
That was the challenge, bringing it into a pattern.
Yeah, this is super hard, right? Because it's a geometric essentially, where you have to get the exact spacing.
Yeah.
The idea I think that's important for any of our social medias is, I mean, people love behind the scenes, right? They love to understand that you sketch, then you work to develop kind of your color palette, then you create this beautiful repeating pattern, and then you might have a dress made with the fabric because someone totally fell in love with the particular pattern. And it's that, and then there are pictures of you and your husband, and then there's beautiful quilts, right? Further down on the feed, there's beautiful quilts. And so keeping that kind of on rotation, right? You're sort of, rotating through that perspective and view into how you work is what helps people connect with you on a human level, because they can understand more. Okay, how did she get from here to here?
Yeah. And you don't want to bore people, so you don't want to have just completely all patterns all the time. So you want to add other things into your feed, I think, so that, it sparks interest.
For sure. So Tell us a little bit about just how you are envisioning your business.
Well, my brain is exploding because of Anne and all the amazing things that she has brought into our lives this year. And so I hope that I've actually reached out to the companies that I work for and sent them a couple of my collections. Cross your fingers that something will come up. But it is interesting how things happen. I took pictures of dahlias, and I have it in one of my YouTube videos. And one of the companies just reached out and said, by the way, we love your photographs of your dahlias. Would you mind if we digitally printed them on fabric? So I'm like, sure. So she's like, okay, I'm going to bring them to the next meeting and see how they fly. So, it's just amazing how things start working in the right direction when you pivoted your business or whatever.
You mentioned two things that were super cool about your YouTube channel.
Yep.
A Quilt Life with Susan Palmer. Look at this. She's got a YouTube channel. Okay, I'm subscribing. Everybody's got to go on there and subscribe.
Please subscribe.
Tell us a little bit about your strategy here with YouTube.
Those first two videos are my collections that I sent to my companies to take a look at. So that was a great way of being able to showcase my collection really fast for them and just send them that video. The third video is actually the one I was telling you about of my design wall. And then the lower ones.
So cute.
Yeah. So these lower ones with the Sasquatch quilt, these are all my Kama Beach ladies that gave me interviews about quilts that they made for Kama Beach. So those are really fun to watch.
Fantastic. So these are like short little interviews, like 15-minute, 10 and 15-minute interviews.
Right. So they're really fun. Yeah, you'll learn a lot about quilting through them.
You tell us a little bit more about like what you put your big goals out there into the world so that they are going to become a reality.
Well, I want to do a co-op fabric company. That's my big giant goal. We need to take back our creativity and open up our own fabric company. So my big giant goal for 5 years is to find the amazing surface designers that would have their amazing work and be able to print it on fabric and get it out there and cherish the women that we have in our lives.
I love that. That's fantastic. So it's going to be a co-op quilt fabric company.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So we all can get rich with our designs.
Yeah. And also be the power behind the scenes.
Thank you. Thank you, Anne, for everything that you do for us. We're all growing in leaps and bounds because of you. So thank you so much.
Well, that is my absolute pleasure. It's my pleasure. But I really, really love the fact that you were able to come on here and really help educate a lot of us about the quilting world and your business specifically. You just have to get it going. And you are demonstrating that every day. You got the website up and running. You're putting your artwork out there. You've got you now have a YouTube channel that can be another way for you to attract customers and clients. It's brilliant. So everybody, you got to follow her on IG. Your handle is also Susan Palmer, A Quilt Life.
Yeah.
And subscribe to her YouTube channel. And then go buy a dress. Go buy one of those gorgeous dresses. That's what I'm going to do next. I want to get the one that's super French and stylish.
One more thing. I listened to an interview on YouTube today about Dr. Carolyn Maslumi. She is now the U.S. Art Fellow. She's also a quilter. And she had a great quote. She said, every activity is a moment of growth. So thank you, Anne, for giving me my growth.
Oh, my goodness. I love you to the moon and back. Thank you so much, Susan. So there you have it. I hope that you are enjoying this summer spotlight series, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. I always like to say in closing that I am Anne LaFollette, and it's never too late to create. Bye for now, and I'll see you next week. If you enjoyed this broadcast, don't forget to pop over to my website, AnneLaFolletteArt.com, and you'll land on a page that looks like this. If you scroll down just a little bit, I'm always highlighting in this banner area something new that's happening in my business or something that I would love for you to explore. And so always pop over here and check this area out. In addition, if you scroll down a little bit further, I'm always changing up my offerings in order to serve you best and continue to share the latest and greatest information about the surface design industry and how you can craft a career that you love in pattern design. If you scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, you can follow me on Instagram and then also pop over to my YouTube channel. And I would love for you to hit the red subscribe button as well as the little bell so that you're notified whenever I have a new broadcast. Thank you so much for being a part of my creative community, and bye for now.